right now at noon. A man is rushed to the hospital following a shooting in Joplin. We have the latest from the police on the investigation.
And it's a bit cooler today than it was yesterday, but warmer weather is on the way. We'll take a look at our temperatures at forecasts coming up.
And the Wildcats are in town. K-State leaders are hosting a series of community conversations in Crawford County.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police are investigating after a man was shot in the Cecil Floyd neighborhood this morning. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. I'm Cale Chapman. Investigators arrived at the home located in the 1800 block of West 20th Street about 8:15 this morning. Captain William Davis says officers found a man shot in the thigh. The victim was taken to the hospital for treatment. Police say the man is in stable condition. Police also interviewed multiple people at the property. Davis says that any information regarding a suspect will be shared during the investigation. And an hours-long standoff in Montgomery County ends this morning with a man in custody. Investigators have not released many details yet. We do know that Cherryville police and Montgomery County deputies responded to the area of 4th and Carson Streets late last night. At the time, they asked residents to avoid the area if possible. The incident prompted Cherryville Thayer schools to cancel classes and events for the day. The sheriff's office posted on his Facebook page that more details will be released. We'll update you when we get them. Kansas State University's president is in Crawford County today as the school hosted an open forum for the community. The day full of events started this morning at the Girard Civic Center. University President Richard Linton and the K-State Connected Cats talked about the university, community connections, and the student experience.
I think it just gives kids an opportunity to experience that town and that university when they're in high school, you know, and just kind of get a feel for it. And the more you go up there, the funner it gets. I mean, there's always something new to do.
A session about community cooperation and advancing economic prosperity is scheduled at Block 22 on North Broadway. That starts at 3 p.m. The town of Anderson, Missouri is having a public hearing tonight about its waterworks and sewerage system. On the April 4th ballot, residents will decide whether to approve $4 million worth of bonds to extend and improve the existing system. The money will also help buy land and right-of-way needed for the project. Those interested in learning more can attend tonight's meeting. It starts at 6 o'clock at the Anderson City Hall on West Beaver Street. And are you looking for a job? Crowder College is hosting a job fair and career expo today. It continues until 2 this afternoon in the Bob Sneller Gymnasium on the Neosho campus. More than 70 businesses looking for employees are at the event. It's free to attend and open to all. And Chris Warner joins us now for a quick look at the weather.
Yeah, it's been another chilly day across the area. It doesn't feel like spring, but don't worry, spring will get here eventually. Taking a live look at our camera at 7th and Range Line, we've got those cloudy skies out there with some clear spots, and we have seen some sunshine out there. Same view from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line. Plenty of cars out there, still cloudy, but some peaks of the sun. Now, yesterday, we started the day at 29. Way off the pace for normal, but we at least made it up to 56, which wasn't that bad. Still not near normal, but boy, just, you know, cold out there. Here's what we have been at, what we're expected to be at today, and where we're heading, and our average is roughly about 64 degrees. So over the next couple of days, we're going to get a lot closer to normal. Temperatures across the region: 39 in Fort Scott, 42 in Iola, 46 Parsons, Chitopa, Miami, 44 in Neosho, and 45 in Carthage. So here's a look at what we're keeping an eye on. We've got that chilly day today with those passing clouds out there. And then the temperatures will begin to warm and they'll eventually get above normal this week. And we're still watching those thunderstorm chances this Thursday into Friday. We'll take a look at that warm up and talk about those storm chances here in just a few more minutes. Cale?
All righty, thank you, Chris. The investigation continues after 3 children and 3 adults were shot and killed at a Nashville, Tennessee school on Monday. Police say the suspect is a former student. Investigators believe the attack was targeted. We want to warn some of our viewers that the images in this report may be disturbing. Christian Benavidez is in Nashville with more.
Nashville police released body cam footage of officers rushing into the Covenant School Monday morning. Upstairs, they confronted and killed the shooter. Surveillance video captured images of the shooter firing through a glass door to enter. Police are studying a manifesto and maps left behind, hoping to understand what motivated the rampage.
She was a previous student. She had some connections there. The head of the school was assassinated in the hallway. So we feel it was targeted and planned.
The victims, students and staffers at the school. Catherine Coons was the head of the school, Mike Hill, a school custodian, and Cynthia Peak, a substitute teacher. The students were all 9-year-olds, Evelyn Dickhouse, William Kenny, and Hallie Scruggs.
These parents, their lives are changed forever today. Forever.
Many people are stopping by this growing makeshift memorial near the school to show their support and express outrage over another deadly mass shooting.
How is this still happening? How are our children still dying, and why are we failing them?
Police say the shooter was taken down about 14 minutes after the first 911 call. They believe the fast response saved lives.
We strongly believe there was going to be some other targets, including maybe family members, and one of the malls here in Nashville, and it just did not happen.
Police say the shooter had 2 assault-style weapons and a pistol. At least 2 of them were believed to have been obtained legally. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Nashville, Tennessee.
Following the shooting, President Biden called on Congress to pass an assault weapons ban. But historically, that legislation does not gain enough support to be passed. At least 30 people are dead after a fire in Mexico's National Migration Institute in Ciudad Juarez. Mexico's president said the fire was set during a protest that began when the migrants were told they were being deported. Most of the people at the center were from Central America and Venezuela. There is no word yet on how many people were injured in the incident. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, finance officials are once again reassuring the nation's banking system is safe. We have more from Capitol Hill as lawmakers grill regulators about the failed banks. And later, we're making a staple for many tables, but with a twist in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The Senate Banking Committee summoned the nation's top financial regulators to talk about what led to the failures of 2 regional banks that sent shockwaves through the banking industry and U.S. economy. Skylar Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
Federal regulators tried to reassure lawmakers that America's banks are still in good condition.
Our banking system is sound and resilient, with strong capital and liquidity.
The hearing was called in response to recent failures of regional banks Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Both sent markets tumbling, but federal regulators say SVB's problems were self-inflicted.
This is a textbook case of bank mismanagement. The risks the bank face, interest rate risk and liquidity risk, those are bread and butter banking issues.
Regulators say they sent multiple warnings to the bank's management that it was at risk. But a viral run on the bank was too much to overcome.
On March 9th, depositors at Silicon Valley Bank withdrew $42 billion in deposits in a period of just a few hours.
Senators appear to be using the hearings for more than just oversight purposes. They're also taking the time to dabble in presidential politics. Republicans say rising inflation under President Biden was to blame.
President Biden's reckless spending caused 40-year high in inflation, and the country, as well as the bank, experienced tremendous loss.
While Democrats pinned the problems on former President Trump.
The officials sitting before us today know that their predecessors rolled back protections like capital and liquidity standards, stress tests, brokered deposit limits, and even basic supervision. They green-lighted those banks to grow and grow and grow. Too big, too fast.
Democrats say they plan to try to pass new banking oversight laws. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The FDIC says it's compiling a comprehensive review of the bank failures and will issue a report no later than May 1st. That report will include options that Congress can take to prevent future failures. Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Are you a traditionalist when it comes to deviled eggs? Or do you like to get a bit adventurous? Well, we're getting adventurous. Stick around, I'll show you.
Our weather looking to turn adventurous as we've got warmer temperatures and some thunderstorm chances. We're going to talk about all of that when we come back. Well, it's been a cooler day for us across the 4 states than what we saw yesterday. And our temperatures yesterday below average, temperatures today well below average across the area. Still got some cloud cover though, and as you can see, it's been partly to mostly cloudy here on our camera at 7th and Range Line. You can see some breaks in the clouds, and that's resulting in some sunshine out there as well this morning. Same view from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line. You got those mostly cloudy skies out there, but you can see the shadow on the roadways from traffic lights, which means some sunshine is getting through. It's just not enough to really send temperatures where they should be. 45 in Joplin, feels like 39 with a north-northwest breeze at 12 miles an hour. And across the area, again, it is chilly still, even at the noon hour. We got 39 in Fort Scott, 44 Chanute, 46 Parsons, Chetopa, Miami, 44 Neosho, and 45 in Carthage. As we get the rest of our day going for us, we're going to continue to see those partly cloudy skies. Clouds will continue to break up and will eventually be mostly clear by 6. Still looking at highs right around 52, so in the lower 50s for most of us. Then we go back through tonight. We hang on to mostly clear skies for the first portion of our evening, then mostly cloudy skies return, and we eventually drop back down to a low of 34 degrees, so another cold one. Despite that, we will actually warm up tomorrow, and as you can see, we're going to be very close to average tomorrow. We'll have a few passing clouds. Otherwise, our Wednesday looks really good across the area. A very textbook spring-like day for us. So let's take a look at what Wednesday looks like. So here we are, 6 a.m. As mentioned, we're going to have a few passing clouds, but it shouldn't be just completely cloudy. And you can see now where the wind arrows have shifted as the high-pressure system moves on out. We're on that back side, and we're getting that southerly breeze that's allowing warmer air to get in here. It's also allowing some Gulf moisture to get in here as well, and that's ahead of a cold front on Thursday. So there's a couple of scenarios with this. Thursday evening, showers and thunderstorms expected along the front through central Kansas back through central Oklahoma. Some of those could be strong to severe, and there's the remote possibility of a strong storm or two entering our western counties late tomorrow night. Then what we'll get overnight and into Friday morning will be the remnants of those storms across the area. It shouldn't be anything severe, but some rumbles of thunder possible early tomorrow or early Friday morning. Then we get to Friday afternoon. This is where there's two scenarios that can play out. Right now, the expectation is that front's going to move pretty quickly. So the greater severe risk is to our east, where thunderstorms will redevelop along that front. We could still see a strong storm or two back here, but again, the greater severe threats to our east. If the cold front happens to slow down any, that will shift that severe risk back to the west over us. So it's something we're keeping an eye on, but thunderstorms one way or the other are going to occur as we head into our Friday from Thursday night. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going to be on that strong to severe side or not. And this cold front does bring some cool air with it. What kind of cool air? Well, let's take a look. We're up to 60 tomorrow. That's nice. 62 on Thursday, even better. Breezy though. Then we start to see those showers and thunderstorms. Into Friday, 75, so what, 11 degrees above the average at that point. And that cold front, as mentioned, kicks us back down to 43 for the low Friday night, 60 on Saturday, so a little cooler. Then we're up to 71 by Sunday, 76 by Monday, and almost 80 degrees by next Tuesday. But each of those days, we've got some shower and thunderstorm chances. When we cool off again back into the lower 60s on Wednesday, upper 50s by Thursday with some additional shower chances. But it is going to be getting quite warm, especially as we head into the beginning of next week. But the big thing we're watching, though, are those thunderstorm chances Thursday night into Friday. So just keep it right here. And as we get more information, if anything changes, we'll let you know.
Yeah, well, that sounds nice. It sounds like we're going to start cooking out here.
Yeah, these temperatures are going to get quite toasty compared to what we have seen here lately.
Yeah, I appreciate the cloud cover. I got sunburnt this weekend, and so I'm pink, man.
So you need a little bit of that cloud cover.
I do, yeah. I just, healthy amount.
Right.
Dreary,
Still warm, but not too dreary.
Yeah, exactly. All righty, thank you, Chris. And stick around, because we're making deviled eggs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen year after break. It's a staple for many of our tables at family gatherings and during the spring and summer. Here's Howard with a different twist on deviled eggs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Hey, I have a question for you. Do you love deviled eggs? And if you do, are you a traditionalist when it comes to the filling? Or you like to get a bit adventurous? Either way, let me show you how to make the best hard-boiled eggs. And from there, I'll show you how to turn them into the best deviled eggs you've ever tasted. To make the perfect hard-boiled egg, all we do is place them in a saucepan in a single layer and cover them with cold water. After this comes to a boil, we cover it, take them off the heat, and let them sit for 12 minutes or so. Now we carefully drain them and run cold water over them. I like to even add some ice to really shock them, which makes them way easier to peel. We found the best way to peel them was to tap the fat end of the egg on the counter. After the whole egg has fine cracks, the shell should easily slip off. That's all there is to it. A perfect hard-boiled egg that's ready to eat as is or to turn into a tasty deviled egg. Here we took our yolks and mixed them with some mayo. But instead of stopping there, we added some ground horseradish, which is very trendy right now, along with some smoky bacon. The recipe for our bacon and horseradish deviled eggs is online now and would be a nice addition to your holiday table. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a devilishly good way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Still on the cool side today, 52. Warmer tomorrow, 60, 62 Thursday. Evening showers, thunderstorms overnight, 75 on Friday. More storms. Some could be on the stronger side. Keep an eye on that for you. 60 Saturday, 71 Sunday, and 76 on Monday with additional shower and thunderstorm chances. So a very spring-like forecast once we get through today.
Very cool. Springing into spring.
Very warm.
Yeah, well, I see what you did there. All righty, well, thank you, Chris. Coming up tonight at 5, shedding that extra weight may benefit your health, even if you gain some of it back. A new review found that participants who lost weight through an intensive program had lower risk factors for heart disease and type 2 diabetes. They also retained those benefits for 5 years. Plus, we get a look at housing needs in the Joplin area as the city announces a $3+ million grant, and middle and high school students show off their skills at Missouri Southern University's 34th Annual Regional Science Fair. Join us for those stories and more on the KOAM News at 5 tonight.
Got a lot coming up.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a busy day. Very exciting. All right, well, thanks for joining us for the KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5.